So, January 23rd, Annette asked me what day I would like to speak, and she gave me some available dates. And as soon as I saw January 23rd, the date kind of popped out to me. I thought, yeah, that's the day. And then the little pennies dropped as to why that's a good day. So January 23rd is the anniversary of the transitions of my sister's late husband, John, and of our favorite Uncle Warren. Don't you find it kind of odd when people, the strange times that people pass? Like out of the 365 days in the year, why was it that my sister's husband and uncle that she was so close to both died on the same day? Different years, thank goodness. And my mother-in-law, her father and her husband both died on December the 5th. Decades apart, but both on the same day. And these were the two loves of her life. Well, in addition to her sons and her grandchildren, of course. And what about people who pass on or near holidays? I mean, my mom, she chose New Year's Eve. I'm like, were you looking for a big bang and celebrations, go out with a bang? And she always did like celebrations. She celebrated life. And what about, and then my father, he passed 3 days before my sister's birthday, and my stepfather passed 3 days before my birthday. It's like different years, thankfully, again. Then my sister's partner, Jim, his son transitioned, unfortunately, just this past day before Thanksgiving. And now every Thanksgiving, his children will remember how they lost their dad at such a young age. And all the rest of the family, as they prepare for Thanksgiving, all these memories come back at these times of family gatherings. And by as now you can probably tell, my mind does wander down some rather strange paths. It also might sound a little bit heartless or lacking of understanding why these things happen at such what we consider inopportune times. And then with my warped sense of humor, and those of you that know me understand, I think I'll aim for Easter because, well, that's kind of a natural time of dying and transitioning anyhow, so it seems more appropriate as far as holidays go. I do try and find humor in a lot of things. But I often wonder, I don't have the answers yet, but I often wonder, did they choose these days? Did they want to make certain that we would remember the day that they passed and that we would remember them? I actually try to forget those dates, to be honest, of the days of people's passing. In our household, we celebrate their birthdays. We, that would be me, mix the cake, but then we all sing happy birthday to our deceased person on their birthday, and then we tell funny stories, loving stories. We just like to reminisce about them and just bring them and continue them so that their history lives on in our lives. And that brings a really warm glow, but also a sad and grateful heart. We're grateful for the impact that they had on our lives, and although we know that their love is still with us, we do miss them being here with us and being a part of our lives. And the grief changes over the years. It does lighten, but then there are still times where the pangs of intensity do return. It's hard not to feel this depth of loss when you have felt and continue to feel that depth of love that they gave you and that you had for them. And we as spiritualists, we are so, so blessed to be able to connect with our loved ones who have passed. We know that their spirit has not died, that they are alive and happy. It's just that we don't have them here with us. And for that reason, we still grieve from time to time. Mostly due to time, but even more so because of the messages from our loved ones that they are happy and that they're doing well and that they watch over us and draw in near to us anytime we think of them, and that their energy is just a whisper away from us. All that knowledge helps to lighten our hearts and bring us joy that they do still exist and that they are happy, and that is so incredibly comforting. And grief, it has so many faces. I can still get mad that my parents left so early. I think of what a difference they would have made in my children's lives. They were so loving, and they had such fun and energetic personalities, with very different but very wonderful senses of humor. They loved life. They liked to teach and mentor, and I mean, how much richer my children's lives would be if only they'd been able to have them here for longer and to get all that energy from them. They just could have benefited so much. But as I learned with my mother's Alzheimer's, it is what it is. That was one of the hardest lessons of my life. Acceptance. Yes, it was total injustice. How could that happen to this dear, sweet woman who helped so many? How is it fair? Well, it isn't. But it is what it is. And the sooner I learned to accept that, the easier my life got. It didn't serve anyone for me to carry on complaining about how unfair it was. And trust me, I did complain. And my dad passing away at only 69, and he practiced a healthy lifestyle, unlike his brother, who smoked, worked night shift, ate unhealthfully. Even his brother said, it should have been me who went first. So where was the fairness in that? It wasn't. It just is what it is. And that brings me to the law of allowing. In Reverend Autry's book, in her book, The River of Life, and if you're all familiar with this one, it is available in the bookstore, but it's a great book which teaches you about spiritualism and the laws. The law of allowing is the recognition of reality, of that which is, as well as remaining free from judging it as right or wrong, simply removes any emotional attachments to it. You learn to let things just be. And although we learn that acceptance does make your life easier, it's not always easy to accept. And usually that comes with levels of acceptance as time goes on. One thing that helps the most with this is the acceptance with love and gratitude. Gratitude for the love that that person shared with you, love that was and is between the two of you, and the feelings of love that they taught you, the ways that they taught you to open your heart to how wonderful, all-encompassing love can be, and the different levels of love between people. And with what they help to teach you, you fill your life and make your current life richer by sharing that love with others, because it is by sharing it that you do enhance your life. I can remember when Sherry's sister died. After I attended a grief and Bible luncheon study group with her, which is most unusual for my sister. But during this meeting, they had a chance to share stories and whatnot about their loved ones. And at this point, this woman stood up and talked a little about her wonderful deceased husband and how after he passed, she just hibernated. Then she said that the Lord spoke to her and said, "Your husband died. You didn't. Get out and celebrate and enjoy your life." She said it was like a lightning bolt of truth that hit her straight to her heart. And at that point, she set her intention to live her life fully and honor the privilege that she had to be alive. And it wasn't going to waste this opportunity that isn't granted to all. That woman's testimony was a turning point for my sister. And I think for everyone in that room as well, whether they had lost a spouse or anyone or not. We are granted this privilege to be alive and to live our lives. Are you all in? Or are you a spectator in your own life? Love. Are you loving full in? Or do you hold back because you don't want to be hurt? Because that hurt is so intense. But would you have missed that intense love just to avoid the hurt? The law of personal responsibility states that although we are interrelated, each individual is accountable for his own conduct and obligations. Throughout life, there is a constant reminder that you create your own happiness or unhappiness as you abide by the laws of nature. God, source divine. Yes, unpleasant things may happen in your life. However, it is how you react to them that makes the difference. You are ultimately in control of your destiny. It is your responsibility to do what you must be done in order to raise your level of consciousness. You can choose to be destructive or constructive based on your very own thought patterns and resulting actions. So basically that's just stating that it is up to you as to whether or not you are going to sit in your grief or to open your hearts to love again. Mind you, it is natural to have a time of healing, and that healing is a continuing process. But as stated by Reverend Autry in the book, you are ultimately in control of your destiny and make your own happiness or unhappiness. We just said that in our principles this morning. It is up to you to choose your thought patterns. And of course, this is not meant to be done alone. We all need each other, and love is what we support one another with. Many, many people have chosen to be constructive during these times of excessive grief that we've had in the last few years. It has been heartwarming and beautiful to see the unity in how people have come together to help each other in so many ways. We watched as literally tons of food were given away to those in need, with so many people stepping up and volunteering to package and hand out food to those less fortunate, and to deliver those who couldn't leave their houses or didn't have transportation. People sang and played music from their balconies for others to listen to, just to help lift their spirits and to have that people connection, people that were stuck in their houses. So we see how people were constructive in the times of grief. Constructive actions during destructive times. That's resilience. Jim Rohn stated, "You must take personal responsibility. You cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the wind, but you can change yourself, and that is something you have charge of." Philosopher Joseph Campbell said, "We cannot cure the world of sorrows, but we can choose to live in joy." We were born to love. That really is our purpose. We all wonder, what is our purpose? What is our purpose? Well, we all have different goals and missions, aims and contracts that we come in with, and things that we're wanting to accomplish in our lifetime. But our real goal is to love. Love ourselves and love our fellow man. In the Bible, 1 Corinthians 13:13, it says, "And now these three things remain, faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love." As Rumi said, "Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it, and embrace them." Love isn't something we need to seek. It's our nature. It's who we are. When we don't embody love, it's because we've erected something to block it. We try to protect ourselves. And as Tony Robbins says, the walls that protect you imprison you. Embrace your fears and your shadow side and melt those barriers. Embrace yourself. Embrace each other. For it is together that we help each other to learn, to love, and to be loved, both which are essential for us to survive and to thrive. Reach out to each other, extend a hand of fellowship and a heart of love, and increase your self-love so you can have more compassion for others as you reach out to teach love. And in teaching others to love, you increase your own capacity and understanding of love. It's a beautiful circle. This is a beautiful life, of which we are privileged to still have. We never know how long the privilege lasts, so enjoy it. And love with your heart wide open. Yes, you will experience many hurts and sadness in your life, and you'll recover. And you'll recover much better when you live in love, knowing that there is always potential for a deeper understanding of love, and that love never dies. It does carry on with you after you pass, and it is still shared with those that you have left behind. Every time they think of you fondly, that love lives on. So yes, accept that grief is a part of life. And treasure all the love that you have experienced and all the love that you have and can share with others. If we all practice this, just think of how lovely this world would be. Extending the hand of fellowship to all. And now as members of this church, we have the opportunity to extend the right hand of fellowship to Cheryl, which is a very special day for us. At this time, we will have our announcements.